Welcome back, you guys. Tonight we're going to be working on the P365XL model slide. We have an individual who happens to have pretty much a full collection of the P365s, being the SAS, the regular, the X, the XL, and instead of just duplicating and buying more of the same, this individual thought, why don't we work on some of the weapons that he already has, and let's build some new designs on each and every one of those. Now, we have already worked on several of these slides for this customer that's local to us, but this happens to be one that we haven't done a pattern on it yet in this design. So in other words, we have a new design for you tonight. So that's one of the main reasons that we're doing a video. We do want to educate you guys a little bit more on this specific service and how it works with the XL model slide. And of course, we also want to show off a little bit more of the other builds that we've done for this individual. And we'll do that towards the end of the video. We'll have some other pictures and some things so you can see the SAS that we did, and you can see some of the other, the P320 that we did. So we have some pretty aggressive work that we've done on some other model slides as well. I'm really excited about this because I do know that the SIG community has been asking, you know, what's going on with the XL? Is there anything else coming out for the XL? And we're asked, quite honestly, we're asked so often that we took the parts in for this local customer for the XL here, and we actually had another customer jump on board and said, I want to have the same thing done, even though it hasn't actually been done yet. So we have a second slide here as well from another customer, and it's going to be a little bit different as the two slides are going to be cut the same, but they're going to have different coatings on them in the end. So it's going to be pretty cool. We're going to get to see two high-end models of this design, and of course two different coloring patterns. So that's going to kind of give you a little bit more of a feel for what can be done with this design. So let's jump into the design and what is it we're doing? What's going on with these parts back here? And what's the overall plan before we get into the actual cut work? So first and foremost, the XL model slide for us was kind of due for some kind of a new pattern. We wanted to show that off a little bit more. We've been seeing a lot of traction over the last couple of months on what would be our CZ model service that we offer on the 10 model, and that's the ray cut. So on the 10 model slide for the CZ, we offer a ray cut, and what that is it's a cut that goes from left to right. It goes all the way across the slide, and it goes kind of like a half moon shaped, and the idea is that it goes deeper in the front and more shallow in the back, just as you see on these slides. They have a real thin edge taper here, and then in the front they've got a real thick or wider shave. So the front of the slide has more usable space, and as we get to the rear, it has less usable space before we would get into the serrations. So we're going to have deeper and then shallower on this end, and we're going to end up running the ray cuts, obviously, from the nose of the gun back to where the barrel would lock up. We're going to leave a nice amount of room here, so we're not having any issues with cycling or cracking the slide or cracking the barrel. And then, of course, we're going to leave enough room in the front so we can still drive our iron sight in and out, and we don't have any issues with the iron sight hanging over the hole. So that's one of the ideas that we have here for the top that we're going to be working on today. And then, of course, we're going to be doing the standard C-style Cobra nose that you would already see listed as a service on our webpage. So the other parts that you see here are mostly here because we're going to be using them for the build. This guy we're not going to be doing anything with. This happens to be, I'm gonna change some parts out here. Let's go with this guy over here. Let's pull this one off. This is a Faxon threaded XL barrel. And the idea behind it is that we are going to be doing our halo coating on this slide. We're also going to be doing it on a mag extension, which is aluminum. This 9mm will be coming off, so that was kind of one of the deals with that. And then we're going to see how that works with the trigger and tight tolerances, and if that's what we want to do, or if we want to go back to a solid color in the end. We've never done this coating on a tightly fitted part like this, so we're going to see how it comes out. It might look awesome, but in the end it might just be too tight to go back in because some of the parts can be tight in the SIG model slides. And if that happens, then we'll just strip it and we'll go back to a solid color. But nonetheless, you guys should be able to see what the halo type of coating looks like on this trigger, even if it doesn't happen to go into the weapon in the end. So we're gonna take that one step at a time. We're just gonna kind of see how that comes out. So of course, you guys can get a multicolored barrel from True, or you can also get it from Faxon. I don't have any connection with either one of these companies, so it's hard for me to rate either one of these companies. If they wanted to send me a barrel, I'd be happy to put them in some of our builds, and I'd be happy to encourage people to order one of their products, especially if it is a good product. I do know that the Faxon barrel is awesome, and I haven't had a lot of experience with the True barrel, but once again, if I had one in hand, I'd probably be able to explain that a little bit better and give my opinion of overall quality and fit and finish. So, with that being said, guys, we're going to jump into CNC work, and let's just kind of see what we come up with there. of course, we'll be doing the same halo coating on the slide. Now, if you are unfamiliar or you're just straight up not sure what the halo coating is, it's a new coating that we offer. We've listed it on our G3C Toro model or G3 Toro model that we did just a little while back with a hive build. And it's kind of like a black, green, blue, gold look. And each one of them is going to be very unique, like you're going to come up with a barrel. You know, as the actual finished product comes to the surface, it's going to change tones. So not everyone is going to look the exact same, and that's pretty cool. So with that being said, we are going to see how that all plays out. Of course, these parts will be all processed at the exact same time, so they should come out looking pretty much uniformed as far as how the design goes. I don't know how it will work with this, as this is a PVD based coating and not our type of coating. So we're going to see how that lays out overall. Now, the other slide that we have here, I do have to go back and review the work, but it is another P365XL. It has a 507K optic on it, and we'll be doing the exact same cut work. So you guys won't be seeing the cut work, but at the end we will show it, because I do believe it has a battle-worn coating on it, which is not halo. So we're going to have an opportunity to see a couple of different styles, and then we can mix and match a couple things between the barrels and things like that, just to kind of see how things go as I have all the parts in hand. So guys, let's jump into the cut work, and then I'm going to jump into the coloring, and we're going to bring it back, and we'll see what we come up with. Alright guys, let's take a look and see exactly how this came out now that everything is back together. We do have our halo coating on the slide. We have several other pieces that we've done in this coating, which we will discuss. We've also done another slide, same exact build in a red and black battle worn, which we will include also at the end of this video. So we happen to have a lot of things to go over. Let's talk about the cut work. We've got the ray cut work, goes from left to right, starts deeper and ends more shallow as we get closer to the barrel. We have gone through the process of building this design to keep the rigidity intact. So we've gave us a nice area of lockup between the barrel and the front cut. We gave us a nice amount of meat left over from where the front sight is to the front serration, so we don't have an iron sight hanging over into that first ray cut. And of course, we are able to see the maximum amount of barrel, which is what most people are after. We do want to be able to see something like a decorative barrel. We do have a Faxon barrel. We're going to be showing you guys that today. We have the factory barrel as well, which is black, so you're going to get to have the opportunity to see that. And then one of the last things we've done is the Cobra nose. Now that's a standard service. We do that on all of our other P365 and XL model slides. That service has been offered for quite some time. Overall, really pleased with the way that this is. Let's briefly talk about the coating. Let's move on to the other coatings of the other pieces. This is our halo, and our halo is one of our newer designs. It's a combination of basically 4 colors. So we have black. We have all of our accent pieces done in gold. So if you look down through here, and once again, we will include some pictures. That's all done in a gold tone. Then we have this bluish green that is throughout, and we do get a little bit of yellow as it's hit and miss. So basically, it really is about a 4-color combination. This is very much like you would see with the Faxon barrel or one of the other barrels that's out of the market. True makes a barrel also that's kind of just a range of colors, and no 2 barrels are the same. That's very much like our halo coating. This coating can be done on anything that's steel, stainless, aluminum, brass, copper, any of those. It cannot be done on a plastic or a polymer, just in which how it's processed. So we can't do it on any of those. But as far as metal goes, we do happen to see a lot of this request come through on Glocks and M&Ps and things like that. People want to have something a little bit more unique, and of course, this is it. So guys, we will include some pictures. No doubt about that. We want to make sure that you guys are seeing it. I'll probably include another video with my phone. It takes just a little bit higher quality video in a close-up setting. So I'll probably try to get you a couple of videos of that as well. Let's go ahead and put this guy down. We do have a couple other things that I want to show you that we coated. And then of course we have some barrels that I want to put in here and show you guys as well. So this happens to be the trigger. Once again, we will include some pictures. I know these are kind of some small parts. So this is the trigger here. Really nice and cool, so that's going to match the slide. Okay, so we're going to put this guy down. And then we have a mag cap or extension. And this one's one of the ones that you can really see the difference in color. So we're seeing a lot of blue, and then we turn a corner, we're seeing a lot of that greenish gold. And then of course we have black, we've got gold on our accents, and then we have a little bit of hint of gold over here. So once again, this is one of those deals where this coloring, when it's processed, is kind of just all over the place. It's going to change and flow throughout, and there's no set design on how exactly it's going to come out. So it's kind of unique and cool. Overall, I think it's a really cool pattern that can be done. Let's put this guy down. What we're going to do is we're going to show you a couple of barrels. So we have a factory barrel, and then of course we have a Faxon barrel, and this is once again kind of the idea I was telling you about with the coloring, is that it's all over the place. There's no set pattern. Let's start with the black factory barrel. I'm going to just show you guys this briefly. So if you weren't going to upgrade your barrel and you want to just have some work done, and you were looking for the ray cut or cobra nose or optic cut or any of those, this is kind of what it's going to look like. You can kind of see how much barrel we can see down through here. And of course, we haven't done it yet, but more than likely we will start to see a 3 top cut done on just the standard P365 model or the X model. So we haven't done one of those yet. We haven't had anybody really request it as of the time of making this video, since we're so new into this pattern. But I can definitely see that that's going to be something that will probably be on the webpage listed as a service pretty quick. So that is the black one. Slide that over there. Actually, guys, we got to take this off, so get this on here. And this is the Faxon with the halo on the P365XL. Pretty interesting. Now guys, you probably have seen a picture of this design already if you've been following us on Instagram. We did post the red and black XL. It's the exact same design as this, but it was a red and black battle worn instead of the halo. So you guys probably had an opportunity to see that if you are on our Facebook or if you're on our Instagram. So we would recommend that you follow along there. You are going to get to see stuff just a little bit quicker than waiting for the videos to come out, just because it takes a little bit longer to film, to discuss, and of course to get it together and put it online. So almost always it's quicker to see something like that on our Instagram or Facebook. Once again, we would recommend that you follow along on our YouTube channel. We are still trying to turn out new content onto our YouTube channel. It just happens to be one of those deals where it takes us longer to process that work than it does to post something on Instagram or something on Facebook. Of course, you can always go to our webpage. Our main page on our webpage is usually where our most unique, newer stuff is. So if you just go to the very first page, you just scroll down through there, you're going to see a lot of our wild builds right on that main page. Of course, you can go to service, you can navigate to your brand weapon, and then you can go into actual services that are offered from there. You are able to use the webpage for checkout, as we would kind of require that or recommend it, I guess is the best way to say that, because most of our common services that you would find, such as the ray cut, it's listed on there. So you're actually able to go through there, you can pick your color, you can pick if you want to do a barrel change, or you want to do an engraving. You can do all that right from the webpage. We'll have all those details put together, so whenever your hardware arrives, we have everything in line. We can just ask those minor questions if there's something that's been skipped or you have a special request with something. We could touch base on that, but most everything is kind of in one place. We can get you in, get you out. If you didn't already know, we are one of the fastest as far as turning out work. So if you're looking for just an optic cut, I want a window, something like some serrations, or maybe just coloring, I mean, you're literally talking just days. Any of those ones that I just listed, probably even the Raptor cut, is between 2 and 3 business days. So if you shipped on Saturday or you shipped on Monday, there's a pretty good chance it's probably going to ship back out somewhere between Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday once we receive it. So it's kind of one of those deals where you're in, you're out. We run multiple machines. All the work's done by myself. So it's one of those things where you are dealing with the guy who's doing the work, not going to a gun shop and, oh, hey, yeah, we've got a guy that does the work, but he only works on Tuesdays, and he's not going to be here till next Tuesday, so if you have a question about something, you have to come in then. That's not how it works with us. All the work, once again, is processed by, excuse me, by myself. The disassembly, the reassembly, the coloring. Lisa, my wife, you'll probably see some emails from her. She also helps with the coloring. But other than that, I mean, that's it. So there's no There's no big staff. There's no bunch of guys doing some work and trying to get stuff turned out. And oh, whoops, somebody did this or somebody did that and we didn't know. We don't run into those issues when you process your stuff through us because everything is hands-on with the owners. So it's just a little bit different. We do want to grow the business, but on the same hand, we do not want to sacrifice quality or turnaround time at all. So we are still trying to navigate those waters of how do we implement staff, how can they help, but yet how can they not really have a say, if that kind of makes sense. I want them to be able to help process stuff, but what I don't want them to do is to really have their hands on the work itself or the majority of the work, the big pieces, the cut work, the coloring, the reassembling. I don't really want their hands on that. I want to make sure that those things are still done correctly and they are done to the highest capability. So that's one of the reasons that we're staying small. We're just kind of working through those details. Guys, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to email us. That's the best way so that we have a record of what we want to have done and how we want to do it. Feel free, if you're in North Carolina, to set up an appointment. We do operate by appointment, so you're able to come by here and you are able to set up an appointment for drop-off or set up an appointment for pickup or however you want to do that. We do have a sale coming up next month, which is one of the biggest sales that we do twice a year. So pay attention to that, especially we would recommend that you jump onto our webpage and you sign up for our email alerts as you'll get more information about that sale as it comes out. One of the things that we haven't really discussed in this last little bit of section here is the red slide. So that project actually already shipped back to the customer. I don't have it in front of me. So as I'm doing this video, we're kind of just going to overlay some of that build, some pictures from it, some videos from it, things like that. Guys, very unique coatings that we offer. We don't really do patterns. You don't really see us doing a lot of that, multi-cam camos and cryptics and stuff. We really focus on single color and we really focus on the battle wear. Someday we might get to there, but right now we do want to specialize in a couple things that we're actually good at and we want to grow from there. Once again, we've always felt like we should only be offering services that are top tier. We don't really want to halfway do anything. We do see that a lot with different companies that are out there, so we don't want to turn into one of those companies and say, oh, we do awesome cut work, but our coloring is kind of crappy. No, we really just want to make sure that you're only offering services that we really perfect, and that's, you know what you're getting when you came in the door, and you know what you're going to get when you walk out the door. So it's kind of one of those deals. Once again, if you guys need anything, just let us know, and we'll see what we do. I know we have a couple other big build videos coming up, but highly recommend you pay attention to our Instagram and our Facebook, as most of our projects will turn up there before they turn up here. Guys, if you need anything, just let us know.